All right, this is Dave Bennett. It's still October 8th, and we're continuing with our series on profit models for T2HA and things you can do with it. All right, there's something I want to point out at this point. We're on number 6 here in this list. When we're talking about backlinking and partnership linking, all we mean is you create more than one website on different cPanels intentionally so that they stand alone, and they're different designs, different content, so that Google sees them differently, so that they can rank. And the idea is to and rank for the same keywords is the big goal. You're trying to make different websites so that they're different user experiences. So Google likes them because they feel different. And therefore they can show up next to each other in the same search results because they feel and act different, read differently. We'll get into more of that a little later. It's just going through a checklist really and understanding the value of things. Here's a point I want to make though. If you want to rank, okay, we could say keyword rank scores, just a loose use of the term, okay. If you want to rank for keywords, what do you need? Well, you need a great website score. In other words, you have to have a modern website. Can't be HTML4 anymore. Can't be HTML3 anymore. Can't be XHTML transitional version 1.0 anymore. It has to be HTML5. And if you're going to convert an old site to a new site, you have to go further. It's not just about HTML5. It also has to have CSS third generation of cascading style sheets, right? CSS3. So we need the fifth generation of HTML, the third generation of CSS, because those are modern, completely modern. They're going to stay modern for a very long time. It took Google, what, 25 years to require that people upgrade at all. Okay, so what we have now is going to last 5 years probably. It's going to be perfectly useful. That's what I would expect. Either way, there's no second option. There is no HTML6 out, and HTML4 won't cut it anymore. You don't have a second option as far as that goes. HTML5, CSS3, and Bootstrap. Okay, that has to happen, and make sure the websites are error code free, right? And they're mobile ready. Okay, these are the things Google wants today. Okay, so that's what I would call good website score, and that's the right idea. Google expects you to do those things, and that gives you a great website score. If you do them all, it's a great website score. Okay, then what? You have to have a lot of pages on the website, not just 5, not just 8, not just 17. If you put 5, 8, or 17 up, well, each page can only be optimized for a small handful of keywords. Okay, so if you have 5, 8, or 10 pages up, you might just get 5, 8, or 10 visitors per month. Okay, that's about it. If you want more visitors per month, better get more web pages up. Now, there are a lot of people that say, but isn't it true that most people visit me through my main keyword, whatever it is? The answer is no. Anytime you put visitor tracking on client sites and you actually go and check, rarely ever do the number of visits that they get amount from one main keyword amount to more than 2% of their total hits. Okay. If they have a stack of, go look at any website, what you're going to see is that if they have a stack of pages, so you're going to see that they get the most individual, maybe they have a bunch of visitors, let's say in the past day, I don't care. They had 10 visitors come through this one keyword, okay? Well, that's more than every other one on the list. They might have 5 visitors come through this other keyword, and then 2 visitors come through this other keyword. But then it's a bunch of ones. So we had 10 plus 5 plus 2 is 17. But then you have like 83 one hit per keyword scenario. Okay, that's if you get a lot of pages on your website. Okay, that's the idea, that most of the hits to your website are through people's custom thought process. I was going through that example earlier when I said I'm looking for Forex software. So Forex, no wait, Forex software, no wait, downloadable Forex program, no wait, you know, downloadable Forex program, 2 pips daily, referral program or affiliate system or whatever. And then I'm dialing in exactly what I want. As a matter of fact, most guys who are trying to buy something are so specific about what they're going to buy anymore that they finally get to that level of finessing if they really want to go that far. And so what you find is a lot of your hits are going to be these one hit a month from entirely different places, and you want lots and lots of those. Did you know that about half of the searches on Google are never repeated? at least within the same year. Google literally keeps trying to forecast wording combinations, and people still surprise them by typing things in they never saw before, never thought of before. Literally half of the hits on Google are different than Google ever saw before. And that's the point. People really do different kinds of searches. All right. Having said that, you need to have a web page for the keyword. Okay. A lot of people make this mistake. We do this and that, this and that, and this and that, and this and that. And they say it on one page. We do all of these things in all of these cities, serving you or whatever. And what's the problem with that? It's a murky page. What's it really about? Is it about we do, what were we saying? I don't know, plumber, bathroom sink repair, kitchen sink repair, new faucets, new cabinet covers, what do I know? Cabinet handles, new towel racks. We do, new septic pump installation, installing your pool in the backyard. We do, and keep going, right? We can install a toilet in the garage. What if we put all those things on one page? And then we say we do it in all the surrounding cities. And I keep using example of Elkhart, because I'm from there. I'm from South Bend. So I say Elkhart, South Bend, Goshen, Mishawaka, etc. Well, what's Google supposed to figure out? If somebody does a search for whatever, install toilet, then Google's going to say install toilet South Bend. They're going to look for local results naturally from the guy's IP address. They're just going to go look for Google local results, even if you never typed anything local in. And that's how I know if I'm doing a search like hotel or restaurant. If I type in hotel right now, I'm going to see a listing of hotels in Seattle come up. If you type hotels, it's going to be you're going to see the big ones, big hotels, but then you're also going to see some local listings. I guarantee you the local listings you see and the local listings I see are not the same local listings unless you're in my area. You'll see local hotels pop up. Now extrapolate. What about restaurants? If I do a search for Italian restaurants, and you do, then we're going to see some mainstream Italian restaurants, but then what? Local ones. And they're different local ones for you as for me, etc., 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 right? So really, Google pays attention to geo-targeting, and it looks for web pages that specifically are about the search. All right, so you need a great keyword score, so to speak, which really means great web page score, and that's what I'm saying. So if you're trying to show for 1,000 keywords, if you've got 40 keywords times 20 locations, that's 800 anyway. If you have 50 keywords times 20 locations, well, that's 1,000 different combinations. It would be wise to create a page for each and every one. That will put you so far above the fold in terms of being way past your other competitors that chances are good you can rank just on that. Okay, now what? Great backlink score. Okay, keyword rank score is this factor plus this factor plus great backlink score. We've talked about that. Directory citations, Google My Business, Yellow Pages, merchant circle, anything like that. Create your own websites to give yourself backlinks, and that's the best kind of backlinks. All right, so you have to, because those are backlinks on other sites that sell you too. They don't sell someone else, they sell you. And since they're your websites, no one gets to put backlinks on them except for you put yours on. Okay, so that's great. Now here's the point. What if you did not have a great website score, but you had a keyword for every, or a page for every keyword, and you had great backlinks? Chances are good you will not rank. You cannot have a 0 for any of these. What if you have a great website score and you have a lot of backlinks, but you only have a few web pages? Then you're not going to rank for a lot of things. You just will not rank for many things. What if you have a great website and great web pages, but you don't go and get backlinks? You won't rank for anything. You'll be one big, great website sitting completely alone in cyberspace. That doesn't rank for anything. You cannot have a 0 value for all these things. You have to have value for each of these things. Okay, that's the idea. Website can be small or big, but it's got to be connected to the rest of the internet somehow. Okay, and going through the search engines doesn't count. Search engines let you know what exists, but search engines don't include themselves as a measure of high page rank linking or anything like that. They look at everyone else. Search engines look at all the directories and the citations and everything else. Okay, Now, see it like this. In bodybuilding terms, creating one website is like doing about 10 push-ups. It's just not a lot of power. Creating two standalone websites would be 20 push-ups if they don't reference each other. But if you have one reference the other, it's more like 25 push-ups. This is a case where 2 plus 2 equals more than 4. Okay? And then 3 websites with backlinks is more like 40 push-ups. You get an aggregate gain as you add more websites, and it's geometric. It goes beyond. It's not necessarily exponential, but it's geometric. It goes beyond just simply adding the sum together. It gives you sort of a coefficient of additional gain as well. Okay. Adding more websites does not mean adding more domains to a single cPanel. It means creating separate cPanels, which brings us back to the value of a dedicated server. Now, all right, if you want to get really competitive, you need to think this way. What does it take to get 10 front page results? Here's what a lot of people think. Okay, people think this way. They think, okay, let's do this again. Gourmet, Italian, restaurant. I shouldn't even go there. There's like too much. Okay, fine. Elkhart, plumber. Okay, I'll just stick with that for right now. All right, so you get here. Here's the idea. Let's say you wanted to be one of the guys on the front page. Okay, that's one thing. And people think, well, if I create one website, I'll be one guy on the front page. If I create 2 websites, I'll be 2 guys. 3 websites, I'll be 3. 4 websites, I'll be 4. And again, they won't all be together like that. You'll have like 1 here and who knows, 1 here, you know, 1 there. And that's the way people think. Here's the problem with that. If you go for one website because it's the cheapest package, then what? Then it's one site sitting alone in cyberspace, so it will not even make it to the front page probably. It is probably down here somewhere on page 4, say. Okay. So then you think, all right. So what if I get 2 websites? Well, if you get 2, you're probably going to shove one of those 2 to the top of page 2 while the other one's somewhere down around the bottom of page 2. And that's just purely for demonstration's sake, right? Where you wind up ranking keyword by keyword. Notice every keyword's different, okay? Some keywords you'll be on the front page with both of those. Other keywords you'll only be on the front page with one of them. Many other keywords you will not be on the front page yet, okay? Especially the more competitive keywords. By definition, competitive means other guys have more backlinks than you do, and or more technical technical pointers of their website are completed than you. Okay, all the good stuff, HTML5, CSS3, Bootstrap, lossless compression, different things like that. All right, so, but what happens if you get like 4 websites in a play? Then you're probably going to shove 1 or 2 up on the front page somewhere. What happens if you get 5 or 6 or 7 in a play? Then you might have 2 or 3 on the front page for different keywords. What does it take to get all 10 results on the front page? More like 20 to 25 total websites. You're going to need to get something like 25 total websites in order to have enough value to push 10 of them up onto the front page for lots of the keywords you want. Okay, that's what those guys did. These guys are here because they have either other websites or they just have lots of backlinks and lots of directory citation listings and so forth. But they've been at this for a very long time. You're trying to play catch up hard and fast. If you want to play catch up, you want to do what they did hard and fast. Okay. One of the best ways to do it is just get a bunch of top quality websites all selling you and then backlink yourself. Now, what's the value of that? This guy's probably not HTML5. He's probably not mobile ready. He's probably got coding errors, okay? Here's another guy, local mom and pop, same thing. Another guy, local mom and pop, same thing, same thing, same thing. Same thing, this Henry Smith guy. Old, that's an old website. I wasn't trying to click on it, I'm just pointing it out, okay? What's the point? The point is, if you hop in there and create a stack of 25 websites that work for all the cities in the US, every plumber everywhere in the nation, because everyone in all the cities, most cities, are going to be like that. The biggest cities you can name tend to be more savvy. So those biggest cities you can name, chances are good that you have more competition there. It's a savvier competition that spent more money to get better answers. But for lots of the cities in the US, If you can name like 100 of the top 10 cities, or I'm sorry, the top 100 cities, well, that's 32,000 you still can't name, right? And they all have plumbers. Most of them. And people need them too, okay? And they are not very tech savvy, and they have lousy websites. Well, if you got 25 websites, you can literally push, theoretically, you can be top 10 listing on every keyword related to plumber nationwide for residential plumber, maybe even commercial plumber. Depends on your point of view. Now, probably takes more than that. There's a magic number we heard from our corporate clients. If you want to take over a nation competitively, full out take over the nation, you need more like 3,000 domains. Okay, 3,000 cPanels. That's what I mean. 3,000 different websites. Okay, now that's called total monopoly. That's like becoming the Trulia of real estate, or the Huffington Post got sold to Yahoo for like a couple $1 billion. Okay, the way they did it was they have thousands and thousands of websites that they use to promote them with. Okay, all together as a package. They built their own backlinks. They built other websites for people to put content on that lean back or that point back to them somehow. Proud member of the Huffington group, and they get link juice pouring in from all over the place, and that benefits everyone in their group. So yes, this is the end game, is to build in that image, to build your own mini Trulia, your own mini Roto-Rooter, your own mini, whatever, Huffington Post, your own mini whatever it is. You really want to drive that up, okay? Even if it doesn't have a name. Our locksmith clients, that's what they do with 3,000 clients nationwide, and they don't have a name for the project. They're just suppliers. That's it, locksmith marketers, among other things. Okay, let me see. Total cost for a setup like that? Well, that would be a dedicated server plus 25 domains with accounts. Well, the accounts are free because it's the dedicated server. The domains are just $10 domains. Plus 25 templates with logos and copywriting at $250 each. If we did it for you, that would mean the entire project would be $8,000. And again, you can use it to rent, sell, goodwill, or just earn from in a lot of the nation. Something like this is huge. It's not 3,000 websites take over at the top level, but this is like 2 steps down from that kind of growth. Literally, when everyone's trying to grow to get that far, this is just a couple of steps away. Everything from here up is almost just purely repetitive. Okay. All right, I'll leave it at that. That's because we could go on forever and ever about strategy and so forth, but that's the point. If you do something like that, it's a terrific amount of power. You should do it. And you would not be our first client to do it. And the clients who have done it love the fact that they did it. This is the right idea. Getting your own dedicated server and putting your own templates on it really is the right idea. Templates we create for you, all uniquely coded, unique content, unique images, and everything else. All right, there you go. For those of you who don't know what to sell, start selling for others. You know, if you were to set up, you could get a paying client like a Denver dentist and make it appear up to 10 times on the front page for literally hundreds of keywords for free clicks all year long. That'll maximize their ROI. Okay, they can consider AdWords later for just the keywords that they still want to go after. They want everything else. You first win everything you can organically before you do more. What's it worth to the dentist? Could be $750,000 a year in new business. By the way, in case you're wondering, most dentists pull in at least $100,000 monthly in revenue. Okay, unless they're in tiny towns. All right, but most dentists need something like $100,000 a month in sales. They just have to have it. Okay, so that's like 1.2 million a year. All right, adding 750K to that's huge. You know, if all their hard costs of the whole dental outfit was taken care of, all the equipment, the chairs, the rental, the insurance, and everything in the first 1.2, and everyone's salaries, okay, then beyond that, all of this is extra bonus money for everyone in the outfit. This is amazing. It's massive. So if the wholesale project, if a project like that costs $8,000, not just for that one dentist, because it costs $8,000 to get set up, and the one dentist is the pivotal point that makes that project possible. Well, you could still retail it for $28,000, you know, even before, and then he pays you $28,000. You have us build it for $8,000. You sell it to, well, you hand it to him. You already sold it to him. And then what do? You make versions of it to sell to every other dentist everywhere outside of his competitive reach, which is still most of the nation. So yeah, you can service 1,000 dentists. Who knows? Let's say theoretically, I don't know, one a week. Because once the project is done, making variations of it that you can sell for $28,000 each will take you like a day or less of work to actually set up if you sat down and focused on the work. Especially if you hired a couple of guys to just help you do it whenever the sales come in. Find your outsourced guys or have us do it. Okay, so there you go. That's cool. For instance, you could sell 28K one a week and have us do it for 8K, and we can literally turn it back around to you in a day or two. And well, a little extra because we need more lead time from you to make sure we do what the dentist wants without talking to the dentist ourselves. You need to do that. So whatever, lead time, let's say it's once a week. Then literally you're making 20K a week if you want. That's the upper end potential of building something like this in the first place and getting someone else to pay for it the first time around. So even if you had them do it for wholesale and just give us all that money, the 8K, and hand it to him for that 8K, that first guy, then he built your money-making machine that you're going to use to keep reselling to everyone else in the nation. Okay, what did I have for this last topic on this? I think we're going to be done with this. We're going to talk about sale, rent, and goodwill. This is absolutely awesome. It's thinking a lot bigger than just making sales or getting the phone to ring. That's rent money. We'll talk about sale, rent, and goodwill. This is a new topic, so I'll get into it next. This is cool. And then at this point, we'll be ready to talk combinations and how you make things, make programs that really work for people in different ways. You're going to love it. All right, thanks for hanging in with us. You're learning a ton, I hope. I think you feel like you're learning a ton. Start playing with what you know in your head. You just think, what if? And start to think, well, what if I do this? What if I do that? What if I do that? And see if you can kind of figure out how that comes together, because it becomes amazing after a while. We'll keep doing more as we go. Okay.